Serving a whole head of cauliflower is so much more impressive and beautiful than broken up florets of cauliflower, in my opinion. And honestly, it's probably easier in the long run. So I have this whole head of cauliflower that I am peeling off any loose leaves and stems from. And I am bringing 4 cups of chicken bone broth to a simmer in a medium saucepan. You can also use vegetable broth. And I like to do that because it just really boosts the nutrient content and the flavor. And then I have 4 peeled cloves of garlic that I've also added in there. I've covered it and let it simmer for about 15 minutes until a butter knife can easily puncture through the head of cauliflower. And I'm going to remove that, letting any excess bone broth drip off, and place that on a parchment paper lined baking sheet. You don't have to use the parchment paper, but I like to just because it's easier cleanup. And then I am placing those 4 cloves of garlic on top. You can use a fork to kind of smush them in if you'd like, or you can keep them whole. And I'm pouring 2 tablespoons of avocado oil over the top of that. I'm going to also sprinkle it with half a teaspoon of flaky sea salt and place the whole thing in the oven at 450 degrees for about 45 minutes until it gets a really nice golden brown crust, which I'll show you in a second. And while that roasts, I'm going to prepare a little bit of a sauce for the topping for this. I have 2 ounces or about a 1/4 cup of a non-dairy ricotta here. If you're okay with a little bit of dairy, you can use goat cheese as well, and it'll be great flavor combination. So I have added in 4 tablespoons or a 1/4 cup of non-dairy milk, a 1/4 teaspoon of flaky sea salt, and then I'm about to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. And I'm just going to whisk that all together really well till it's nice and creamy and smooth. I'm going to set that aside. And then my other layer of flavor is going to be with this fresh mint. So I have about a 1/4 cup of fresh mint leaves that I'm peeling off of their stems. And I'm going to roughly chop those, or you can even thinly slice them, whatever you prefer. And then I'm going to set that aside. So bringing all of these flavors together is really just a matter of having the elements that you need, and then we're going to layer them all on top of that whole roasted cauliflower. So I have a pretty serving platter here that I am placing my cauliflower on top of. You can see it has that really nice golden brown color on the cauliflower and the garlic cloves. And when I'm adding the remaining 1/4 teaspoon of flaky sea salt and pickled shallots on top. You can use pickled shallots or pickled red onions. You can use my quick pickled shallot recipe, or simply thinly slice some and cover them in vinegar to soak while you prepare and roast the cauliflower. And then I have my fresh mint, and I'm just going to sprinkle almost all of that on top and let some of it fall on the platter. I just find that it's extra colorful and beautiful that way. And then I have my non-dairy ricotta or goat cheese mixture, whichever you choose to use. And I am just going to drizzle that evenly all around the whole head of cauliflower. I like to use about half of it and save the remaining half for serving. And to serve this, I just honestly break off big chunks of it and have that extra ricotta or goat cheese mixture you can always spoon more of on top, and you're good to go.